one more little news thing. Let's talk about the Bucks real quick before we get to this last one. How Dame said that they did not get gym time, him and Giannis this summer. Uh, Thoughts on that comment and how it impacts this?
I don't think it does. Me
People
personally,
are hitting the doomsday button. I'm like, are they not just two stars? They just have to run a pick and roll.
I I think the fact that they've communicated, I think the fact that they both have spoken to how the relationship has grown and how they are more comfortable with each other over the summer. I don't know how many people watched Dame on Jeff Teague's podcast, and whenever Giannis has been asked about it, he's spoken to this, but like you had two very ball dominant people that had to get used to realizing, oh, I have another person that can actually carry this load. Like I can give the ball up and I can trust that somebody else can actually go get 30, 35, and I could really chill if I wanted to. Like they both had to realize that. So in terms of getting no gym time, I don't think that affects anything going into the season. And even for media day, I think just Dame speaking to knowing Giannis better, knowing Doc better, like knowing the other vets better. Being able to train this offseason, knowing like how he wanted to come into this season, all of that I think has been more intentional. So you man, you know me. I'm not an overreactive, Bucks fan. In terms of starting the season, we're fine. Like given what we're going into the season with, can't be too mad. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
don't think that gym time is going to make or break what they're able to do if they're healthy and if they have another season under their belt going into, the playoffs. So
yeah. I think people forget we went into that Indiana series with no Dame, no Giannis in those last couple games. So it's like I'm not, you know,
and at that point
it,
with injured Middleton too. So, it's and I mean we talked about this before and me and Ashley talked about it last pod, but like is the I think people it's easy now to be like, oh, okay, the Bucks won that championship, and then yeah, as great as Giannis has been, he's been injured the last two playoffs, and the roster hasn't been great, and they blew everything up when they got Dame, and it's like, okay, yeah, whenever you make a trade like that, you're gonna have to figure some things out. They made that trade, and they didn't have a roster built to have Dame on it. They had a roster built for Drew Holiday to be on it, and they brought in a coach that expected to be coaching Drew Holiday from a standpoint of like what he originally wanted to do defensively, things of that nature. Doc has been there. Doc has started to implement his system. Doc has built the roster that he feels like makes sense around Giannis and Dame. And it is a roster that makes a lot more sense, for them as a core and for the vets that we've already had. And again, as we've all been saying, if some of the young guys actually get, a chance, I think a lot of them really fit, playing alongside Dame and Giannis as well. So the league will talk, and that's just what comes, especially when you have a talent, like Giannis, and when you have the expectations of, you have one of the best players in the league, so you're expected to contend and be playing for and winning championships. But got to see how the season plays out at this point. That's all we can do. But I do feel like as an organization, the Bucks have done everything they possibly could. The only other thing you could potentially argue is that they could have drafted better or drafted for now, but that's also us not knowing how will AJ Johnson or Tyler Smith be used. Will they get a chance to potentially showcase and be of some type of impact? We don't know. But also, we have an 8 or 9 man rotation that allows for them to have a little bit of growth and grow into some things where maybe that's something that they can carry on as our vets phase out. All this is still yet to be seen. But as far as like what they could do in the right now, I feel like the Bucks organization did everything they possibly could. So
100%. I feel that.
yeah.